Known for its smiling faces, diverse culture, and even more diverse geography, not many countries in the world come close to the sheer size of Canada. With 10 provinces and 3 territories that extend from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean and northward into the Arctic Ocean, it holds the title of the second largest country by total area in the world. Home to more than 40 million people, the country is blessed with vast forests, majestic mountains, pristine lakes, freezing Arctic tundras, and the largest coastline in the world. This varying geography today makes the country a must-visit for those looking for a vacation or a little bit of adventure. However, just a few million years ago, this mix of different ecosystems created a haven that was home to more than 88 species of dinosaurs. From a famous relative of the T-Rex to a small velociraptor, these are the top 5 dinosaurs found in Canada. With more than 9.9 million square kilometers or 3.8 million square miles of land to its name, it's easy to see why the Great White North ranks second largest in the world, boasting the world's largest coastline, along with geographic landmarks like Niagara Falls, the Rocky Mountains, and the Bay of Fundy. There is no denying the beauty of the region. However, Canada isn't just famous for its cultural and geographical diversity, but also for its biological diversity. Renowned for its natural abundance and distinct wildlife, the country today is home to over 80,000 species of animals. And while the sheer number of species living in the region is breathtaking, it's only a fraction of what it would have been during prehistoric times. Among these extinct prehistoric species, the dinosaurs who lived in the region are perhaps one of the most fascinating of them all. Today, scientists have discovered the fossilized remains of about 88 species of dinosaurs in the region, and they are just scratching the surface of what could be hundreds of species of undiscovered dinosaurs. But why did Canada have such a high density of prehistoric life? To answer that, we have to look back at prehistoric Canada and its climate. During the late Cretaceous period, much of what is now Canada was a warm, humid environment with abundant rivers, lakes, and lush vegetation. The ideal environment for supporting a thoroughly diverse dinosaur population. Of the many dinosaurs discovered in this prehistoric gold mine of a region, one of the most fascinating and terrifying is the Albertosaurus. First discovered in 1884 by geologist J.B. Tyrrell during a geological survey in the Horseshoe Canyon Formation of Alberta, Canada, the Albertosaurus is a massive tyrannosaurid theropod dinosaur that lived in northwest North America during the early to middle Maastrichtian age of the late Cretaceous period, about 71 million years ago. Named after Alberta, Canada, this tyrannosaurid, Albertosaurus, was a bipedal predator with short arms, 2-fingered hands, and a massive head with dozens of large, sharp teeth. It also had a strong sense of smell, powerful binocular vision, and a bone-crushing bite force. If you are wondering why that sounds so familiar, that's also the description of one of the most famous dinosaurs ever, the Tyrannosaurus rex. Sharing a genus with the T-Rex, the Albertosaurus was also an apex predator in its local ecosystem. Although the Albertosaurus was certainly large for a theropod, it was still much smaller than its larger and more famous relative, the Tyrannosaurus rex. Yet, this was a very big boy, with typical adults growing from 8 to 9 meters or 26 to 29.5 feet in length and weighing roughly about 1.7 to 3.0 metric tons, which is the approximate weight of a couple modern hippopotamuses. When it comes to appearances, the Albertosaurus was definitely terrifying, as it shared a similar body appearance with all other tyrannosaurids, especially the Gorgosaurus. Much like a typical theropod, the Albertosaurus was bipedal and balanced its large, heavy head and torso with a long, muscular tail. In contrast, however, the creature had forelimbs that were extremely small for their body size and retained only 2 functional fingers, the second being longer than the first. Their legs were another story, as they were long and ended in a 4-toed foot on which the first toe, the hallux, was very short and did not reach the ground. The third toe, however, was longer than the rest. Thanks to its massive legs, the Albertosaurus may have been able to reach walking speeds of 14 to 21 kilometers an hour, or about 9 to 13 miles per hour. Younger individuals were likely able to run at the higher running speeds. They also had a massive skull, which was perched on a muscular, short S-shaped neck and was about 1 meter or 3.3 feet long and the largest of adults. The Albertosaurus had a long jaw that contained about 58 or more banana-shaped teeth. Unlike most theropods, Albertosaurs were heterodonts, meaning that their teeth were of different forms, depending on their position in the mouth. Today, the youngest known Albertosaurus is a 2-year-old discovered in the Dry Island bone bed. The young individual is estimated to have weighed about 110 pounds and measured slightly more than 2 meters or about 6 feet long. In contrast, a 10-meter or 33-foot specimen was also found in the same quarry. Aged 28 years old, this individual is the oldest and largest known Albertosaurus to date. The Albertosaurus was by far one of the most powerful dinosaurs to wander across Canada. However, they did not do this alone, as they hunted in packs and, as such, were one of the most efficient predators in the region. But they weren't the only predators. Showing size wasn't a detriment to predatory success. The Dromaeosaurus is one of the most successful dinosaurs who roam around the Great White North. With its name directly translating to running lizard, the Dromaeosaurus was a theropod dinosaur that roamed North America during the late Cretaceous period, roughly 76.5 to 74.8 million years ago. Primarily discovered in the regions that are now Alberta, Canada, and Montana, USA, this menacing dinosaur was an agile predator that measured about 2 meters, about 6 feet in length, and weighed approximately 15 kilograms, or 33 pounds. Imagine a lithe, man-sized creature that could sprint and attack even the most nimble and quick prey. At least you could probably hear an Albertosaurus coming, while a Dromaeosaurus would be an efficient, swift, and silent serial killer. The Dromaeosaurus had a robust build with a strong, flexible neck and a long tail that likely aided in balance and agility. Its skull was sturdy, equipped with a powerful bite force, and had serrated teeth that were perfectly suited for slicing through flesh. It also had long and powerful limbs that helped it become a very fast runner. Its feet also featured a large, sickle-shaped claw on the second toe, which was likely used to grasp and immobilize prey. First discovered in 1914, the Dromaeosaurus was a carnivorous dinosaur that preyed on smaller dinosaurs and possibly scavenged for food. Its sharp teeth and strong jaws made it an efficient meat eater. Clearly built for speed and power, what truly sets the Dromaeosaurus apart from its relatives is its more robust build and stronger bite force, suggesting it might have had different hunting or feeding strategies compared to others in its family. To hunt, it used strategies that involved using its agility and speed to chase down prey, while the sickle-shaped claw was used for slashing or holding onto its catch. Another major dinosaur from the land of maple syrup was the thick-nosed Pachyrhinosaurus. With its name translating to the thick-nosed lizard, the Pachyrhinosaurus, a fascinating ceratopsid that roamed North America during the late Cretaceous period, approximately 73.5 to 68.5 million years ago. Found in regions that are now Alberta, Canada, and Alaska, USA, the most distinctive feature of the Pachyrhinosaurus was its thick, bony nasal boss. This is because, unlike other ceratopsids, its nasal boss was a large, flat, or slightly domed mass of bone in its snout that replaced the long horns seen in other ceratopsians like Triceratops. Measuring about 6 to 8 meters, or 23 feet in length, and weighing around 3 to 4 metric tons, yet another animal weighing as much as 2 modern hippos, the Pachyrhinosaurus had a prominent frill at the back of its head, adorned with various horns and ornamentations that varied among different species. While it lacked the large nasal horn, some specimens did, however, exhibit small, bony horns above the eyes. Believed to have engaged in head-butting contests, the thick nasal boss is undoubtedly the most distinguishing feature of Pachyrhinosaurus. While its exact function is debated, it may have been used for display, species recognition, or even combat. The frill, with its various bony projections and ornamentations, likely played a role in display or defense, adding to the dinosaur's impressive appearance. The first fossils were discovered in 1946 by Charles M. Sternberg in Alberta, Canada. The Pachyrhinosaurus was by far one of the stranger dinosaurs of the region. It was a formidable herbivore with a beak-like mouth and shearing teeth that were perfectly suited for cropping and chewing tough vegetation. Today, evidence from fossil sites suggests that Pachyrhinosaurus may have lived in herds, much like modern cows, indicating they had social behavior and possibly migration patterns. Beyond the realm of science, the Pachyrhinosaurus has captured the public's imagination and has been featured in various parts of the media, including documentaries, children's books, and even in the 2013 film Walking with Dinosaurs. Moving on from the Pachyrhinosaurus, Alberta was also home to one of the scariest dinosaurs to walk the earth, the Gorgosaurus. With its name directly translating as fierce lizard, the Gorgosaurus is a terrifying tyrannosaurid theropod that lived in North America approximately 76.6 to 75.1 million years ago during the late Cretaceous period. A formidable predator, this monstrosity roamed the lush floodplains and coastal regions of what is now Alberta, Canada, and possibly Montana, USA. The first was discovered in 1913 by Charles H. Sternberg in the Dinosaur Park formation of Alberta. The Gorgosaurus was a relatively large theropod that measured up to 8 to 9 meters, or 23 feet in length, and weighed around 2.5 metric tons. Like most tyrannosaurids, it had a robust build with a massive skull, powerful jaws, and sharp serrated teeth designed for slicing through flesh. Its skull, about 1 meter or 3.3 feet long, featured large fenestrae to reduce weight while maintaining strength. Like its family members, the Gorgosaurus had relatively short arms with 2-fingered hands and strong muscular legs that ended in 4-toed feet, with the third toe being the longest. As an apex predator, Gorgosaurus primarily preyed on large herbivorous dinosaurs such as the duck-billed hadrosaurs and the horned ceratopsians. Besides its massive size, the dinosaur also had evolution on its side, as its keen sense of smell, powerful bite force, and binocular vision made it an effective hunter. Fossil evidence, including bite marks on bones, indicates that Gorgosaurus engaged in predatory behavior and possibly scavenging, similar to its larger relative, the Tyrannosaurus rex. Studies of Gorgosaurus fossils have also revealed significant insights into its growth and development. Using bone histology, scientists have determined that Gorgosaurus grew rapidly during its juvenile years, reaching nearly full size by the age of 16. This rapid growth phase was then followed by a slower growth rate as it reached maturity. Today, the largest known individuals are estimated to be over 20 years old. The Gorgosaurus lived in a rich and diverse ecosystem alongside other dinosaurs, pterosaurs, and early mammals. They seem to be social animals, as fossil evidence from bone beds suggests the Gorgosaurus may have possibly lived and hunted in groups. Much like the Pachyrhinosaurus, the Gorgosaurus had also captured the public's imagination and has been featured in various media, including documentaries, books, and exhibitions. If you want to know more about the Gorgosaurus, it has its own dedicated Primalia video, so be sure to check that out. Another fascinating dinosaur that roamed the Canadian lands was the weird-looking Tyrannosaurus. Although not exclusively found in Canada, the Tyrannosaurus, meaning scythe lizard, was one of the most unique and enigmatic dinosaurs that roamed the Earth during the late Cretaceous period, approximately 70 million years ago. It was first discovered in the late 1940s by Soviet paleontologist Evgeny Malev in the Nemt Formation of Mongolia. Tyrannosaurus was a large dinosaur, estimated to have been about 10 meters or 32 feet in length and weighing approximately 5 tons. That is about half as heavy as a full-grown Tyrannosaurus rex. Its most striking feature was its forelimbs, which bore claws up to 1 meter long. These claws were the longest of any known animal and, surprisingly enough, were likely used for foraging and defense rather than predation. The body of the Tyrannosaurus was also unique, as it had a relatively small head with a beak-like mouth, a long neck, and a bulky pot-bellied torso. Unlike most theropods, which were primarily carnivorous, the Tyrannosaurus shocked scientists as it had adaptations suggesting an herbivorous diet, such as its small and leaf-shaped teeth that were suitable for processing plant material. Tyrannosaurus had a long tail and sturdy hind limbs, suggesting that it was a bipedal dinosaur. It primarily lived in what is now the Gobi Desert in Mongolia, an area that, during the late Cretaceous period, was likely a lush environment with rivers, lakes, and abundant vegetation. But somehow, it also made its way to Alberta, which also shared the same environmental conditions. Believed to have been herbivorous, feeding on a variety of vegetation, this habitat would have provided ample food resources for the creature. It also would have had no issue accessing its food, as the long claws could have been used to pull down branches or strip leaves from trees and bushes. These claws might have also helped in digging or reaching into dense foliage to access food sources that other herbivores could not. While direct evidence is limited, some researchers speculate that the Tyrannosaurus may have exhibited social behavior, potentially living in small groups or family units. Much like it is today, Canada, especially the Alberta region, was a melting pot for different species of animals due to its favorable environmental conditions. Thus, it gave rise to one of the most biologically diverse dinosaur regions in the world today. But what do you think? Are there more fascinating dinosaurs in Canada that we missed? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe. Until next time, stay curious.